Hi, welcome to my guitar tutorial. I'm calling this 3-note per string, 2 symmetrical patterns guitar tutorial. So this will be the last of part 7 of my 84 combinations, 12 major keys that I've been going along doing. So today I decided to do something a little bit different. I've been doing like the cage positions. I've been doing arpeggios, modal pentatonics. So today I just decided to pull out 2 3-note per string scales. So if you look below the description in the video, you'll see a bunch of, I'll have some different resources in there, iReal Pro format, the chord chart, different kind of scale patterns. I'll have the key of C, 3-note per string scale patterns in there. I'll probably also put in the modal pentatonics because I'll probably be talking about those today. So so once again, you may have noticed that there was quite a bit of the same key. And once again, if you look below the description, I have the note cards there. You can print those out and make up different progressions for yourself. So this is just part 7 of 7 times 12 is 84 different combinations of modal scales, progressions that I've made up in this series. So you can do that. Okay, so I think for today, what I'll do is I'll just go briefly through that basic, the 2 basic patterns I was using. So if you look in the sheets in the key of C, I'll just go ahead and state those up and down. So the one pattern is B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So I'm calling these symmetrical patterns, meaning every 2 strings has the same pattern or same fingering. Okay, so that's a key, starting from B, and then starting from the root of the parent scale. So you'll notice that the parent scale is listed on the chord chart. So every single progression I did here. So if, for example, if I did C sharp minor to F sharp minor, that's the from the key of E. That's the parent scale. So I just used one of these 2 patterns. Okay, so starting from C here, this is the other symmetrical pattern, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so once again, so every 2 strings has the same pattern. Okay, so that's all I was doing. I was just kind of tracing out those patterns. So the basic format in the intro, I just played up the scale for about 1 measure, down the scale for about 1 measure, and then I just pulled out a couple little licks that I thought were kind of interesting, depending on what kind of chord I was on. Now, one of the things I noticed as I was getting ready to do this video, if you combine both of these patterns together, so I'll stay in the key of C, you end up with tetrachords. So here B, C, D, C, D, E is kind of like you can think of that as Locrian or Phrygian. Okay, so that happens to be Locrian. Okay, then here E, F, G, E, F, G, A. So that's the Phrygian. But so that's I'm calling that a Locrian or Phrygian tetrachord. I'm not exactly sure what the correct term is there. So then you go to the next two strings. Those are two minor tetrachords, A, B, C, D, and then D, E, F, G. So that's starting from the 6 of the key of C, and then the two minor tetrachords, and then the one starting here, so G, A, B, C, major tetrachord, C, D, E, F. So you go right across 6, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, doing tetrachords just by combining those two symmetrical patterns. All right, so that was the one thing, and then maybe I'll address some ideas of hexatonic scales, modal pentatonics. So what happens is when you look at these 3-note per string scales, you have these very convenient hexatonic patterns. Then here from A, and then here from G. So then within those hexatonics, you can pull out various modal pentatonics. I'll just do that briefly. So for example, here B, C, E, F, G. That'd be like C major 7th modal pentatonic. Okay, then if you're here, you can pull out B minor 7 flat 5, A, B, D, E, F. You can also pull out F major modal pentatonic, F, E, C, B, A, right? And that'll all be on those sheets. You can reference that. Now here, something kind of interesting happens here is you have two kind of very common pentatonics, G, A, B, D, E, which is G major or E minor pentatonic, right? And then you also have G, A, C, D, E, which is C major pentatonic, and it's also A minor pentatonic. Right, so out of those hexatonics, you can pull out various pentatonics. Okay, so that was the one thing I wanted to talk about is pentatonics, and then yeah, I think during the playing demonstration, I pulled out a couple different ones. Like so, for example, for the D9 chord, I think I played D, E, F sharp, A, B, D major pentatonic, and I don't think I pulled out very many minors. And I think I pulled out that minor 7 flat 5. Okay, so that's just a couple just general principles there. Okay, so now I think what I'll do next is I'll just pick out maybe three or four progressions here, and I'll maybe do a little bit of a deeper dive out of these patterns. So C major 9, C major 7. I use that pattern, and then I use this pattern here. So you have B, C, E, B, C, E, G. So you have kind of like the major 7th arpeggio, and then I also pulled out this thing, G, B, C, E. I pulled out a C major arpeggio. So C major arpeggio here, C major arpeggio there, and then C major there. Okay, that's all coming out of those patterns. I just played through that with the track here, just a ballad, melodic ballad here. And then here. That's just one thing, and then you can pull out these hexatonic or pentatonic. So it just so happens that this 6 notes here contains both C major pentatonic and G major E minor pentatonic. So that would be a really good thing to play over this C major. So I'll play a little bit of E minor pentatonic, G, E, or C major A minor pentatonic. Okay, so that's just a couple ideas here. Let's see if there's anything else that kind of strikes my fancy here. Yeah, and then I'm also targeting, creating melodies targeting for the third and seventh. So for example, here you can take these tetrachords and create melodies, and then just kind of land on your on your third and your seventh of your chord. Let me see if I can make up something quickly here. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And then one of the techniques that I find really, really helpful, this works like 99% of the time. If you do something here, and then you go across a fourth in the same pattern, it almost always sound like they would fit together. So, just a random pattern, and then I'll play that with the track. Okay, just a couple ideas. I think that's good for that. Okay, so now I'll go on to this Dorian here. So I'm just picking out keys that are easier to think about. So key of C, key of G, no sharps or flats, one sharp. Okay, so here, so for A Dorian. Okay, so maybe what I'll do here. Actually, this is kind of convenient here. So you have the other thing is when you look at these patterns together, to my mind, you have like the two minor pentatonic patterns are right within there. So G A C D E A E G A C D. All right, that's A minor pentatonic, and then just the box is right in there too. So you for all practical purposes you have that A C D. Or you kind of have sort of a hybrid of it. So G A C D E G A C D, and then there's a concept I ran into many years ago about Randy Rhoads. Now, I never really deconstructed Randy Rhoads' thing, but I guess what this person was saying was that what Randy Rhoads tend to do is he would tend to do runs where he had like pentatonic here, and then he would add in the color notes on top. So maybe I'll just do that. So this is kind of like taking, these 3-note per string scales, and I'm just taking out the pentatonic, and I'm also taking out this kind of hexatonic thing on top. Let's see what that sounds like. So this is the A minor to B minor. So maybe some of you who have studied Randy Rhoads, you would maybe recognize that in his playing, maybe different runs that he would do where he would use pentatonic on the bottom. Now notice what happened there. I was landing on that B and that F sharp. So the F sharp is good for that, the B minor. Then on the A minor, that B is kind of good for the A minor, and then also good for the root of the B. Let me see if there's anything else I kind of. Right, and then you can kind of extract out kind of little pentatonic pieces here. Let me just see. Oh yeah, like for example here. So C, B, G, F sharp, E. So that's a C major modal pentatonic, but it's Lydian. Okay, so let me just run that. I extracted that out from those from the hexatonic, and I'll just play that over this Dorian vamp. See how nice that sounds? So it's a C major modal pentatonic. I'm just going to move it up to here, so same scale pattern. So I'll sometimes use the term extracting out. So I'm taking these basic templates, okay, these basic scale patterns, and I'm obviously running them. You know, I'm running them as part of this study. But then I'm also saying, well, I'm not just going to run the scale up and down. I'm also going to pull out a different sub patterns. You also see that, so you have A minor pentatonic, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D. Then you also have B minor pentatonic, A, B, D, E, F sharp, A, B, D, E, F sharp, A, B. So that's sometimes something that I'll practice is practice going back and forth between an A minor, B minor in a situation like this. Now these chords are coming by fairly quickly, so maybe I'll just do a couple things where I'll just go back and forth between A minor and B minor pentatonic, pulling those out of those 3-note per string scales. B, A, B. Sometimes it's just a question of your imagination, your technique, like how quickly you can go in between those scales. Okay. All right, so that's just a couple ideas there. Obviously, then you can pull out maybe arpeggios, like for example here A, C, E, G, and then B, D, F sharp, A. So I think I did that in some of my other, and then here A, C, E, G, and then B, D, F sharp, A. So I'll just do a little bit of that before I go on to the next thing. So A minor arpeggio, B minor 7th arpeggio, and then A, C, and then A minor 7th, and then B minor 7th. A, B, so A. You get the idea there. Okay, I think I'll do, because these videos get so long sometimes. Let's go to let's just go to mix a Lydian. So I do like to mix a Lydian. This is like a D, sort of like a D9 sus to D. So same. I'm in the same pattern. So same patterns, but I'm going to be emphasizing different notes. So this is a very, very important thing when you're thinking about improvising, even though you have quote unquote the same fingering pattern, melodically and harmonically you need to think of them a little bit differently. So I think one of the things I did actually no, before I do that, let me maybe mess with these tetrachords. So here you have, once again 7 3 6 2 5 1. So let's see, I have D. Actually, I'll go to minor. So E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. So I'll use those two tetrachords, and I'll just kind of create a melody for that D9. So I have this D and A here. So that might be good to maybe land on those. Fascinating. Okay, so and that's part of the discovery process as you're working these scales, playing different kind of permutations. Hopefully you'll hear things, you'll hear kind of melodies that you like. So now I don't want to play fascinating rhythms. I'm trying to get away from that. Okay, how about that? And then the principal was saying before, right? So that almost always works. So I'll play that with the D9 vamp. So tetrachord here. Okay, now that's the other thing when you do these. So if you don't like the way the exact sequence sound, maybe you like that sound. So what I did the second time, I just resolved it. I just went up to the third there. So I just did something a little bit different there. Okay, so then, so I'm still in key of G, D. So then you have this F sharp minor 7 flat 5 modal pentatonic, E, F sharp, A, B, C. Right, that's really good to play over the D9. So I can play that in 2 places. And that's still coming out of those 2 basic symmetrical patterns. I'll play that a little bit. Right, that's a nice, I like that sound. I like that sound a lot. All right. Yeah, and then I don't think I'll just do quickly. D, F sharp, A, C. I did that on a couple of the dominant chords. D, F sharp, A, C, and then D, F sharp, A, C. Just a typical dominant 7th arpeggio. And then you can always do this. You can do the half step slide into the chord tone. You know. I'll just do that a little bit. So D, F sharp, A, C, D, F sharp, A, C. Okay, I think that's about all I'm going to do for today. So that just gives you a couple ideas. So once again, I started off very simple. First time I just played through that pattern, and then the second time I played through that pattern. Now realizing, as I stated earlier, this particular random progression happens to have, I think the key of B comes up 4 different times. I think key of G came up 2 different times. So I had to play the scale, and then I had to figure out, well, where are my good color tones? So that's part of learning music. So you can either do it theoretically, or you can use your ear. So I think what I'll do for my ending improvisation, I'll just play through the progression 2 times, and I'll just kind of maybe use the same format. I'll kind of use these 3 upper string scales, and then I'll kind of break out into maybe some of the modal pentatonics, and just kind of see what happens. Once again, I purposely do not plan these ending improvisations because I want to be kind of like live without a net, like the flying Wallendas. And so if I hit something, quote unquote, the wrong note, it doesn't matter, because you're just, we're all just in this together. We're just trying to we're all students of the guitar. Oh, great story. I'll tell a quick story. This Mark Ross was a pretty well-known blues guitar player in the central Pennsylvania area. And he opened up, early on in his career, he opened up for B.B. King. And he goes backstage and meets B.B. King, and it's like, B.B. King's like, Mark's like, oh, B.B. King, you're the greatest, blues guitar player, we, this and that. And B.B. King just sits there really cool, and he goes, I am a student of the guitar. And that was like, whenever, Mark used to tell that story. That's a great story. Rest in peace, Mark Ross, he tells that story about B.B. King. I am a student of the guitar, so I love that story. I'm a student of the guitar. I'm going to improvise for you. Thanks for listening and watching. So this will be it for this series, 84 combinations, and stay tuned for other things. I mean, I like to do various things, and I like to change it up. So I don't like to just do the same thing each time. So hopefully you'll be surprised and delighted, and you'll enjoy coming back to my YouTube channel.